Chapter 3, Section 6 is slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form you guys did at the end of last year. And slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. The m is your slope, just like in the one we talked about yesterday. Only this time the b is your y-intercept. And this is where your line crosses the y-axis. And we'll graph some down here. And I'm going to teach you guys a different way than you did last year. If you remember the way from last year, it works. Personally, I think this one is a little bit easier. What we actually do is we start with point slope form that we talked about yesterday. And we're going to put this into point slope form. So that becomes y minus 3, that's a y, equals 1/2 x minus 2. So we start with that, which is just like we did yesterday. And now we just solve for y. If you distribute, you would have y minus 3 equals 1/2 x minus 2. How about minus 1? And then from there, you add 3 to both sides. And you end up with y equals 1/2 x plus 2. A little crowded in there. So you start with point slope form like we did yesterday, and then when you solve for y, you end up being in slope intercept form. Taking a look at the next one, again, we're going to start with y minus 10 equals -2 times x plus 5. We started with point slope form. And now we solve for x. Distribute. You end up with y minus 10 equals -2x minus 10. And then from there you add 10 to both sides. And in this case we end up with y equals -2x. So you start with point slope form and then solve for y. Letter C, you will have y minus 5 equals 3 times x plus 2. From there we distribute the 3 and you have y minus 5 equals 3x plus 6. And when you add 5 to both sides, you end up with y equals 3x plus 11. So you start with point slope form, and when you solve for y, this is called slope intercept form, because this is your slope and this is your y-intercept. Letter D will be y minus 5 equals 1/2 x plus 6. When you distribute, you have y minus 5 equals 1/2 x plus 3. And then adding 5 to both sides, you have y equals 1/2 x plus 8. And let's do E as the last one. This would become y minus 10 equals -5 times x minus 5. Distributing, you have y minus 10 equals negative 5x plus 25, and adding 10 to both sides, you have y equals negative 5x plus 35. So that's the first thing we're going to do. And with that one, they gave us the point and slope. The next section, they give us 2 points. So we're adding 1 step on there, and we have to calculate our slopes. So we have to start out y minus y, x minus x. And I am going to do 2 minus 0 over 1, subtract a negative 1, which becomes 2 over 2, which is 1. And now you can go with either of these points. I'm going to pick this first one because it has a 0. And that will become y minus 0 equals 1 times x plus 1. And when we simplify this one, you don't need to write y minus 0. You can just say y equals. And if you distribute the 1, it will be x plus 1. So they just added that 1 step where you had to find the slope. Letter B, first of all, finding our slope, y minus y, x minus x. I did 2, subtract a negative 1, 0, subtract a negative 1, which becomes 3 over 1, which is 3. And I'm going to pick that second point because it has a 0. And this one will become y minus 2 equals 3 times x minus 0. And if we distribute this, we will have y minus 2 equals 3x. And then adding 2 to both sides, you have y equals 3x plus 2. Letter C, finding the slope, y minus y, x minus x. We will do 5 minus 2 over 8 minus 4. 5 minus 2 is 3. Oops, this is 8 minus 5. No, it's not. 8 minus 4 is 4. So our slope is 3/4. I'm going to pick this first point. The numbers look a little smaller. Either one will be fine. Y minus 2 equals 3/4 x minus